this model kit review is the Focke Wulf 189, and this is a 1/48 scale model by MPM, and this is made in Czech Republic, and looks like it's going to have some resin parts. No details on that side. Let's have a look inside. So we have our decals here, and that look fairly well printed. We have a little insert for our instrument panel there. And we have also our cockpit canopy in the glass, and that all looks fairly well molded with some detail. And on the back here we have the few little pieces out of photo etch parts, which always makes things a little bit more realistic. Let's have a look. This has already been opened. Here we have a few parts for the cockpit, it looks like, made out of resin. And then we have the sprues. So we have 3 different parts of plastic. And let's have a look at these here. This looks like this is part of our engine nacelle. Interesting, I only see one of these. Just some details there on the inside. This is probably part of the cockpit and one of the bulkheads. Most of these parts are have some detail on them, but a lot of mold lines and flashing, as you can see here. They are not very clean, not very well molded like these ones. They require a lot of work to clean them up. We do have a lot of parts though. Let's have a look here. Here are our wheels, again similar, and we do have some recessed panel lines, but these parts are very rough, and you can still see the release agent from the mold. Here are the other parts for the wing. These are the inner wing. Looks like our part of the engine. And in the booms, again, lots of mold lines. Here's our propeller, and probably part of the engine cowl. And here's the other sprue with the other booms. Also a tremendous amount of flashing. Not very clean, not very well molded. Here is our stabilizer and elevator for the back. And the lower portion of the inner wing. Let's have a look at our instructions. So, we start off with here the parts listing. It includes the resin parts down there, and photo etch parts, as well as the decals. Looks like there are only meant to be 2 of those pieces. Here are the colors needed. And let's have a look here. We build the cockpit first. So those parts are actually, this is actually for the cockpit. And the fuselage, it's a short little fuselage that's then glued onto the wing. Then the booms are assembled, as well as the outer wings, and the fuselage is glued onto that. put on the this little tail wheel, and then the booms and the stabilizer are glued onto the wings and engine nacelles. Here are the parts for the cockpit, using some of the resin parts and photo etch parts. Those are then glued into the cockpit. Looks like there'll be a fair amount of detail there. And there's the observer seat. Then you put your guns and the cockpit glass on. We build the engines and propellers and spinners. Then the landing gear go together. And then those all put on the model. There's also some additional parts. Here gives you the painting and decal guide. And here's another version. So all in all, difficult model because of the resin and photo etch parts, as well as there's going to be a lot of extra work in cleaning up these parts. Not very well molded.